What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Criterion Corner. This is the segment on my channel where I watch a film from the Criterion Collection or that is streaming on the Criterion channel and talk about it with you in great detail. And this movie I'm going to be discussing today is both in the physical Criterion Collection and also currently streaming on the channel. And this is one of those movies that I'm actually embarrassed to say that I've never seen before. This is a movie that I know is talked about in very high regard, that has been on my list to watch for quite some time now. Number one being, I really love Danny Boyle. I think he's a very talented director. I've really enjoyed watching the things that he has done through his career. And I also love Ewan McGregor. I think he is an incredibly talented actor who, throughout his entire career, I've always really appreciated the projects that he's chose to affiliate himself with. He just seems to really know what he wants to do with his career, and he's very talented no matter what the project is. Even in like the Star Wars prequels, I always enjoyed his performances. He's a captivating actor that I feel like is very talented. So I was really looking forward to watching this movie today, and the film I'm going to be discussing with you is Trainspotting. Trainspotting is directed by Danny Boyle. Hilarious but harrowing, the film charts the disintegration of the friendship between Renton, Spud, Sick Boy Tommy, and Begbie as they proceed seemingly towards a psychotic, drug-fueled self-destruction. So I was very excited to watch this movie. Like I said, I've heard nothing but great things about it over the years. It's been one of those movies that's always been on my list to check out, and I finally saw it on the homepage of the Criterion channel, and I was like, I'm watching this thing right away. Like, I really want to see this, really want to find out how it's going to impact me, and this movie is brilliant. I think everything positive that's ever been said about this film is 100% accurate. I think it is so incredibly impressive what Danny Boyle is able to pull off here, because this is a movie about some really heavy subject matter. Drug abuse is no joke. It is very difficult to watch someone go through horrible drug addiction and then try to get off the drugs, and then the relapse and all of the different things that you watch people who go through drug addiction deal with. And what I love so much about how Danny Boyle handles that subject matter here is the movie is like horrifying. There are some moments in it that are truly just like disturbing and saddening and heartbreaking. It's also really funny. And I think the characters, although they get into some horrible situations, they're not all great people. They manipulate people, they're self-destructive, they do awful things in their life. You can't help but to like a lot of them just because of how great the writing is and how much personality they have and the chemistry between the actors. It was just really phenomenal viewing experience, and I'm excited to tell you about it today. So, as the plot description states, at the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to Renton, played by Ewan McGregor, who is a heroin addict, and he is living his day-to-day life with this group of friends, Spud, Sick Boy, Tommy, and Begbie, who are all heroin users, drug addicts. I'm not sure if they specifically say if Begbie is, but he's an incredibly violent individual who drinks a lot, and they spend a bunch of time together. And early in the movie, you very much get established as to what their life's like. They're in this room together, they're all shooting up, and there's a young woman in there who is also shooting up that literally just has her baby crawling around on the floor around them. Renton eventually says, "This is it for me. I do not want to do drugs anymore. I want to rid this from my system and be done with it entirely." And so the movie is his journey to try to stop using heroin, which obviously is a lot easier to say out loud than to do. And we see the many experiences that he has when he tries to come down off of it, the experience of people manipulating him to try not to, him attempting to move away from all of it, to get away from that part of his life, and just experiencing what this person who clearly has the mental fortitude to understand they want something more with their life, they just don't know how to achieve it. So, like I said, this movie is nothing short of remarkable. I honestly don't have a single negative thing to say about it. The performances in this movie are truly exceptional. Ewan McGregor is phenomenal. This might be one of the best performances that he's given in his entire career. There's an entire sequence of him essentially in his parents' house trying to like shake off the heroin use, and it is like one of the most powerful, just incredibly well acted scenes that I've ever watched in a movie. The array of emotions that he experiences in what's probably like a 5 or 6 minute scene, and just the way Danny Boyle photographs it and how surreal and abstract it is, and just like everything about it is brilliant. But Ewan McGregor's performance is truly remarkable. I can't say enough just how completely and totally impressed I was with his performance in this movie. Jonny Lee Miller as Sick Boy, I loved his character too, and I feel like his rapport with Renton was really great. He constantly keeps referencing old James Bond movies, and I loved James Bond growing up, and I just thought there was a lot of fun, playful moments between the two of them, and I really enjoyed his performance a lot. Ewen Bremner, who plays Spud, also does a phenomenal job. His character spends a lot of time just completely and totally consumed by drugs, and I feel like his reaction to the drug use and how his character is portrayed in specific scenes, you really just get a feel for how, like, you're so high you can't even come into contact with people or just do day-to-day life without looking like you're completely insane in moments. And I thought his character attributed a lot to that, really did a nice job. But Robert Carlyle as Begbie is like one of the best parts of the movie. His character is truly an awful human being. I mean, he treats other people horribly. He's incredibly manipulative. He's violent. He's just not a good person. And he's clearly someone who, like, sees these other people and kind of knows how to push all the right buttons to get them to do what he wants. And I just thought that that was a really incredible incorporation to the movie. And they all just have really amazing chemistry that it's impossible to look away from the screen. This is one of the best edited films I think I've ever watched. The cinematography is phenomenal, but just the slick transitions in the editing and the way that it's so easily, there's an incredible moment early on in the movie where Ewan McGregor's character is in like it literally says the dirtiest bathroom in the area, and he goes in there and he ends up losing something or he ends up pooping, and he's got like a suppository or something he's trying to grab out of the toilet, and you see him literally like sifting through shit. It's absolutely disgusting, and eventually he just dives headfirst into the water to get that out. But it looks like he dives into this pristine blue, beautiful water, and then he climbs back out of the toilet. And there's so many amazing moments where like reality is defied, and you get these very surreal, abstract moments in the visuals that I think help kind of immerse you into the mind of a drug addict, where it's like, are they perceiving it this way? Is this how it's coming across to them under the influence of these very hard drugs? And I loved that. I feel like there's so many amazing moments visually throughout this movie. The music in this also incredible. The entire soundtrack to the film just truly remarkable and does such a great job helping carry along the tone. There are some moments where the music doesn't match with the scene going on, and I think it works so incredibly well to kind of put you in the mind of these people where something horrific can be going on. They're not experiencing it the same way because they're not with it. And I think that it really captures the mental state of a person abusing drugs in a way that's incredibly realistic. And what I liked so much about this movie is the way that it shows the horrific ramifications of drug abuse, but it also shows these friends that are close together, that it's very hard to maintain a realistic friendship when the biggest part of your friendship is abusing drugs. And it's like they have commonalities, there's things they share with each other, but when it comes to drugs or money or any of those situations, they're willing to cross each other just like that, because getting the next high is the most important thing. And then to see Ewan McGregor's character be like, I'm gonna kick this, I don't want to do it anymore, and how those people are so toxic, they just want to pull him back in and destroy his life again. And it's because it becomes your entire lifestyle. And I think this is the perfect kind of anti-drug movie. It doesn't feel like an after school special. It's just depicting it in a way that feels incredibly realistic. There are some horrific images in this that really kind of shook me up a lot, but there's also some moments that made me laugh pretty hard. And I think that's really life, isn't it? I mean, we go through a lot of terrible, horrible things in our day-to-day existence, and sometimes you have to laugh. Otherwise, it's very hard to survive. And I think Danny Boyle, more than anyone, understands that with a movie like this. I just thought that it was so much fun. I enjoyed everything about this. I really want to watch it again. And sometime in the near future, I'm going to watch the sequel. I don't really know what the reception to the sequel was like, but I loved these characters. I really enjoyed this world, and I'm very much looking forward to jumping back into it. So have you seen Trainspotting? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was incredible. I loved everything about it, and I already can't wait to watch it again. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and Have a great rest of your day.